For those of you who are afraid of being single, on today's podcast, CeCe and I, we're going to share some advantages and some disadvantages that comes with being single. So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology Podcast. I am your host, CeCe, and I'm joined by my husband.
Hey everybody, this is Willem, and welcome to the Blissology Podcast. We're glad to have you today. If this is your first time with us, this is a weekly podcast where we talk about
love, life, family, relationships,
being single.
yes, and whatever else is going on around the world, we are going to talk about it here. Okay? So, before we get into the topic of the day, as you guys know, we like to do our blissful moment. Yes. So, babe, what is your blissful moment?
We had an extra day out of work this week.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Memorial weekend. We had that Monday off. We did stuff.
What did you do?
We went out with the kids, and then I grilled some hot dogs and burgers, and we ate. I had burgers for lunch and burgers for dinner.
True. It was so low key though. I feel like it was not something, because typically on Memorial Day we like to do like the steak or something more heavier. But this year I feel like you were just like low key. Let me go get me a pack of hot dogs, a pack of burgers, a pack of this.
That's all we needed. You know, when you're talking about having a good time, it's not about the crazy expensive or heavy stuff. The kids loved it. You know, the kids didn't care what it is that I grilled. The fact that we were out there and there was smoke.
True.
And they stayed out with us all day. And when that time come, I mean, I know the little one kept asking, when are the burgers going to be done? The burgers were done, but the corn, man, that took some time.
Yes, dear. It was dry.
I don't know. I haven't learned how to grill corn. I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but I tried. This is the second time I tried grilling corn, and it came out hard.
I feel like boiled corn tastes a lot better.
It does. It's at least, the grill kind of like dried the corn.
Right.
I mean, the I don't know what they call these.
I mean, that's the whole idea, right? Because if you put it on the grill, it's gonna dry it.
Not gonna grill any corn next time.
We had some baked corn last time. It was good. Remember when I put the corn in the oven? When I put my little seasoning on it, it was
yes.
Listen, ladies, if you haven't tried it, try it. I didn't boil
seasoned corn.
Put some olive oil on it and some green pepper. Did I have green peppers? No,
I don't know.
I had black.
You did
I had ground peppers
2 or 3 years ago. Because last year we didn't do anything. No, last year we didn't do anything. It was COVID.
I'm talking about our weekly meal. I did.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it was very, very good. Yes.
Well, the biggest thing was we got to spend some time because I haven't been home on a Monday in forever.
Sure.
And obviously, yes, we chose not to go out that day. Well, I had to run to the store to get the supplies.
Yeah, but, I feel like above all, the kids had a good time. The weekend was fun. They went to the park and Sunday
they were out
was
on
fun.
Saturday. They were out on Sunday.
Yeah, so Monday.
They were home to be. We can't keep being out.
Well, they're home all day every day. So definitely they would want to be out a week if they could.
But all it was good.
Yes, I had a good time. Fun. It was good. I think that it was a last minute because I feel like it was last minute.
Well, I wasn't planning on doing anything. I feel
like you were debating. You were going back and forth whether you should grill or not grill.
I wanted to take a day off.
You did.
Yeah, that was my intention.
Yes, you did. I know you did. But I think what it is when you have kids, it's a holiday.
I needed a day off. I drove them all over the place on Saturday.
All over the place?
And I drove them all over the place on Sunday. A man needed a day off. We were given this holiday to relax.
Didn't you? You didn't start grilling until 12 or 2.
No, I didn't start that late. I think a little bit after 12.
A little bit after 2. Because we didn't eat it until like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Well, it took some time.
So yes. So it was a last minute, guys. I feel like it was a last minute. But above all, we had a good time. And I had 1 hot dogs and, my fruits. And that was it. Actually, I had the hot dog the next day.
I had 2 burgers. I even ate a burger patty with no bun. And I had one the next day.
There you have it. So he's true.
I cooked them. I couldn't let them go to waste.
Yeah, you did. Because we're not a big fan of burgers like that here. So it works for you. So I'm glad.
I don't believe food should go to waste. If it's cooked and if it's edible, eat it.
Absolutely agree with you, babe. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why she makes me eat her leftovers.
I don't make you eat my leftovers, okay? I don't. Don't take that from him because I don't. Okay? We don't in this house. Although he's the only man, he's the only guy.
I am the man.
He is the man. Okay, so we don't make him eat our food or leftovers. He chooses to. All right, guys. So I hope you guys have had a good Memorial weekend because, over here it was fun. We had a good time. It was low-key, but it was fun. Low-key is always good. Now let's get into the topic of the day, which was...
Those of you are afraid of being single. Oh, those of you are single altogether. I'm sure there's these things you want to do. There's things that family may want you to do.
Yes.
People keep asking you when's the big day and you're getting tired of it.
The pressure from the peoples, okay?
Yeah.
People needs to calm down. There's nothing wrong with being single, right? I truly feel like living single was the best thing ever for me.
I'm not gonna say anything, but you know what? Living single can be difficult sometimes.
Yes,
but it can be very rewarding sometimes. Amen. It all depends on what you choose to do.
Amen.
While being single.
It's not a bad thing being single.
No.
Why do people look at being single a bad thing? I guess because of their age.
if you 18 and like 19, 20, 25, people looks at you just a kid. Once you reach your 30s, 30, 35. I don't know
about 25. 25 is more like, okay, what are we doing?
25, we're still a kid.
No.
But I think single and in age, especially in our community, once you start hitting that 30-year-old mark, people start wondering, what are you doing?
Yeah, they start wondering, when is the wedding? They don't even know if you have a man or if you have a girlfriend, and they kept asking.
And why do they want me to have a man? Well, why would they want me to have a girl? Right?
But though, babe, I feel like it's not their
well, it's not for them to choose. It's for me to decide when.
I feel like saying it's none of their business in a way.
And you would be right.
Right? Because some people that I know, they choose to have a career versus to be, to get married. And you have to understand that.
And that's perfectly fine.
But it's not easy in our community, just like you said.
Well, many people think that you put on this planet to
go to school,
learn something, and then find someone, settle down, make some kids, and die.
And work for the man.
Sometime later.
And retired.
But life can take different route in how you want to live your life. Right. You may have no intentions of marrying somebody.
Right.
And that's okay. In fact, being single gives you that ultimate autonomy.
True.
In doing whatever you want.
Wherever you want.
Wherever, with whomever you want to.
With whomever.
Whenever you want it.
Whenever you want to.
In whichever place you want to do it.
Whichever city you want to.
At whatever age you want to do it.
Or whatever location you want to go.
So.
It's like the perfect life.
I wouldn't say it's the perfect life.
Perfect life
for some people. If that's what you want. Because there are people that are single and their intentions is to get married and they can't stand being single.
But what is wrong with being single?
It all depends.
How was your freedom when you were single?
Oh, I was free. I was free like a bird. I can get home whenever I want to. I can get up whenever I want to. Obviously, I was working, and I'm very disciplined, so I had to be up at a certain time to go to work.
Right.
But I did not have to answer to no one.
Your mom?
Well, when I was underage, yes, but as I grew up, it's kind of like I tell you I'm doing this, and that's kind of it. However, with respect, of course, because I lived with them, but I didn't have to answer to a wife that's saying, "Where are you going? What are you doing? When are you getting home? I need you to do this." It's like earlier, I getting ready to go work out. It's like, no, you can't work out now. You got to work out different. I'm like, really? Right? So when you're single, you have that autonomy.
You have that luxury of do whatever you want.
And you make your money. Your money's yours. You don't have to share it with anyone.
Okay, what are you trying to say?
You can go in. You can buy whatever expensive toy you want.
Cars, luxury.
And you don't have to explain to anyone why. Now, I'm not saying being single, you should be careless with your money. But you have that freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Yes.
And listen, I enjoyed that life. I mean, that's not saying I'm not enjoying the life that I have right now, but my intentions was to be married.
Right. So you do feel like if you were raised in a home where your parents wasn't married, they were like, single mothers home, would you have wanted, get married?
It may have been different. However, my early childhood was not spent where both parents were there. I mean, my dad had to move to the US to do his own thing.
Right.
I was primarily with my mom. So in a way, I didn't get to see early on, up until I was 16, I didn't get to see how husband and wife lived.
Yeah.
So I don't think my upbringing had anything to do with me being.
To some people, I think it does.
Yeah, to some it does. I mean, if you're raised up in a family where you see how your parents live together and you want that life, yes.
That was me. I think living at my parents' house was really like, I loved it. Although my mom makes sure that we had a utility bill to pay. I think mine was the water bill. My brother was like the light bills. And it's just, it's a way for us to start.
I got to be honest with you. With your mom, even if you didn't want to get married, you would have had to have gotten married.
You think so?
Oh, your mom, you would get tired of it and you would have been like, you know what? I'm going to find someone and marry just so I could stop hearing about you asking me when.
True. I love you, Mom, but that is so true.
Yes, with your mom. Even if you wanted not to have had anything to do with getting married, you would have had to.
I don't think I wouldn't.
Or maybe you would have had to literally pick up and move far, far away from your mom so you don't hear her asking when
are you going to get married? But I think it's just typical though in our community, in our culture. Like, our people tend to look at us where, okay, you're home, you like 25 or 26. Okay, what are you still doing here? Although they love you, but they asking, they want to know, like, do you have a plan? Do you have someone? They keep pushing.
But there's the one thing that I don't like that they do. They keep telling you to get married, but barely anyone sat and really go over what it means to get in a long-term relationship. But they keep telling you to have kids. But no one really sat and tell when you have kids, those are the responsibility that comes with having kids.
But I kind of feel like though the fact that you raised by them, so you kind of see what they've been through with the marriage and the kids.
What they do is very different than what we do now.
It's just because of the experience that they had. Like while you're home, you see how your dad or your mom, treat each other. So they're basically like saying like, okay, you've seen everything. I don't have to sit you down and teach you and tell you things. So therefore, you can just copy what we did and then just do your own thing. And I truly feel like our parents, it's not easy for them to sit you down and say, okay, the reason why this and this is because you need to, let me just be honest. Our parents, which meaning our Haitian parents, right? They tell you once you reach a certain age, the clock is ticking. Like you gotta go somewhere and find someone. Like, but why is the pressure is why I'm asking, right? Luckily for me, I didn't have that. My parents.
You sure? You sure your mother didn't wake up every day and say, "Hey,
well,
I see Will hanging around the house"?
Well,
when?
Babe, think about it. Let's go back a little bit, okay? Let's kind of give you guys a little bit of our history, right? When we're dating, single life, I would go to work, come home, studying because I was still in school, right? And then when we were dating, we would come to the house, hang out on the front porch, never in my room. We would just be in the living room where my dad can see us. Watch some TV and be in the front porch. I mean, basically, it was just like you taking me out and bring me back home and do these things back this over and over again, right? But it wasn't more like where the pressure started is when we were dating for like 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, my mom is like, okay, so what's the deal? Y'all been dating for 4 years.
Just having fun.
Y'all been dating for 4 years.
We could have still been dating.
Let me finish telling you guys what this man is, how he is with his words, okay? My husband. So if you're dating someone for 4 years and you getting the pressure from your parents, okay, 4 years, so what's the next move? I mean, it makes sense, right? For your parents to ask you what's the next move. You've been dating this guy for a while, so what's the plan? And I would ask, okay, babe, getting the pressure at home. What's the plan? Soon, baby, soon.
Yes, that's the way.
His words.
Soon.
Your words was always soon. But I'm like, soon could be a year, 2 years, 3 years from now. And I just don't know how long we were gonna wait, to get to the next step, which is
soon enough. It was going to be there, which
listen,
it did.
When you're dating someone and it's just, you need to know, okay, you don't want to be that person dating that guy for like 10, 15 years because your parents eventually gonna ask you what's going on.
And you can tell them, I'm dating.
But
I'm dating.
What's the plan?
The plan is for me to make when that time comes. and it could be that. I mean, if your intentions and my intentions were not to get married, we could have still be dating and there wouldn't be anything wrong with that.
I don't see, not for me.
So I'm saying your plan wasn't to keep dating. Obviously, your plans were to get married.
Right.
But if your plans were to date and have some fun, no long-term commitments, we could have still be dating. And that would have been fine. Some people does it. And this is where it comes down to.
Let me be honest, Abby. I think that it would have been hard for me. It would have been hard for me because of my parents. So my parents are,
Yet, if your plan was to date and no long-term commitment, you could have still be doing. And this is what all of us get to a point where we have to decide how we want to live. Not someone else deciding for us. Right? And I know some of us in our community, yes, there's pressure, but you got to remember what you want. So for those of you who are single and you're afraid that you're going to disappoint someone if you don't, you're going to disappoint your parents, maybe your family member, if you don't find someone, you have to sit back and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Do I want to get married? Yes. If that's the case, yes, marriage is in my list and I'm going to get it. But if I don't see myself living with someone for the rest of my life, then you have to make a decision. Am I going to force myself to go down the marriage life and get someone who's probably going to irritate me every morning? Or am I going to tell the people who's telling me to get married, this is not my thing.
Back off.
Yes, this is not my thing. And we have to be very upfront, especially in our community where there could be some pretty powerful source or force on you to go down that path, because many parents, that's their biggest wish. My kids are grown and they have a career and now they have a husband and they have a wife and they'll have kids and I'm looking for grandkids. Yes, many parents is what they look for.
All the parents.
But if that's not what you want,
But I think if this is not what you want, then you got to be honest with your parents, right?
Yes.
You need to let them know, hey, listen, I am a free bird. Okay. I like to be free and be wherever I want, wherever I do. It's just all about me. Not letting them assume that you are gearing towards the married life.
Yeah. If that's not what you want, that's not what you
right.
want.
Because I know some parents that can be hard. They can be harsh also on their kids, especially if you're like late 20s, you know, in your 30s. Like they want grandkids, but if you don't want have kids, but then I do feel like to some people who don't want to have kids, then it's hard for their parents to accept that. The fact that, okay, I just want to have I just want to, you know, live my single life for the rest of my life. And no kids, no husband, just freedom. And you gotta let them be. You know, there's nothing wrong with being single, guys. Like, I mean, it's just, and it's not easy to find the right one either. It takes work, you know? It takes work. It takes work. And just like everything in life takes time. It takes work. Don't think you got to get up and go to some country or just marry someone or just force yourself to marry someone because your clock is ticking. Don't, because you're going to hurt later on. And you're gonna get into divorce. You're gonna get into like things that you didn't
that's
want.
not always the case. Some people find good people and marry from other places. Sometimes it's here. Sometimes they go in different places, pick someone, and then marry you. There's a great relationship that comes out of that, and there are some rocky ones.
True, some good, some bad, and some ugly.
And yes, I'd say we all still have to look at what we want. If you feel like your clock is ticking and you can't find someone here, then you can go find someone somewhere.
Right. Different culture.
Yeah, if that's what you want.
And there's nothing wrong with different culture, right? Because I do believe nowadays a lot of, I mean, I'm not someone who's a big fan of it, but you know, this is something that for you, if you feel like you can't find anyone in your own culture, there's nothing wrong if there's someone who
Love doesn't care about culture. Love just cares about who you click with, who you connect with.
If you go and see someone that you have a lot of chemistry with and someone that you feel like, wow, we just click so easily, we just have so much in common, then why not? You know, I mean, yes, your parents may not like it because in our culture, it's hard for our parents to accept a third party.
It's not a third party. Someone from another background.
A third party. Okay.
But you know, yes. I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you want. Now, we talked about a lot of positive about being single. Mm-hmm. But loneliness is not. It's not the easiest thing to deal with either.
It's not.
Right? And some people, and this is where people that has their plan is to get married, it could be very tough on them when things are not happening at the time they want them. Because listen, I wasn't single when I was in my early 30s, but it pays to be able to have your wife, you take them, you go to whatever place you go to, a party that you have someone that you with, as opposed to trying to chase people to dance with you when you get there. Right? Or you're always pulling up at a place by yourself when everybody's kind of like with their significant others and they doing their thing, and you can like trying to join them.
Did that happen to you when you were single?
No, it hasn't happened because I always have single friends that if we go somewhere that we're together.
See, that's smart. You always hang out with the single friends.
Well, yes. This way when they don't have someone, you don't have someone, you kind of hang out together. But I remember I was at a party way back, and yes, if we didn't go with anyone, but there were 4 of us.
4 guys?
Yeah, 4 guys who went to a party. It was common for us to get in the car and we carpool and we go to a party. But when we got there,
was it a house party?
No, it was at a restaurant that turned into a nightclub.
Okay, one of those places, huh?
It's one of those places that get converted in the later hours of the day. So I remember we were there, and yes, we were all chasing single women that came to dance with, and after chasing, we couldn't. After a couple of beers, we started dancing.
You like this.
No. When you're there, you kind of hang out and look to see where's there's one who seems they have no one with them, and then you kind of approach them and.
Does it matter if they're pretty or ugly?
Oh no! When you're at a place like this, all you're looking for is a dance.
Okay. Well, then again, it's dark.
Yes.
You can't see the person's
It's not
face.
you're gonna take the person home, but when you would say if you walk in there by yourself, and you have no friends with you.
You don't have no choice. What if you don't have no choice?
No, listen. If I'm by myself, probably not gonna pick up and go to a place, one of these type of places. If you were with a group of friends for the first maybe 30 minutes, you hang out with your buddies, you drink, you have fun.
Right.
Now, when you get something in your system, then you kind of go around and start hunting. At that point, you're already a little tipsy. Someone tells you no or buzz you off. You have no problems with it. You just move on to the next one. Imagine you walked in by yourself. You know no one.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you actually go to the bar and you get you something. You try to start a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with another guy who's probably by themselves. So it sucks. But if you
guys are just
if you
lonely.
if you get to this place with your own woman, you don't have to worry about none of that stuff. Or you get to that place with your man, you don't have to worry about that stuff.
True.
Because yes, you're gonna have your drinks, you're gonna hang out, you're gonna sit, you're gonna dance, and you don't have to beg anyone to dance with you. And some people, if they think they're all that, you approach them and ask them for a dance, and they'll look at you. And please.
Yeah.
But that's why sometimes you don't look
Yeah.
you don't go to the ones that seems like they all that. No, you pick the one that's not quite all that because they're probably gonna say yes.
Let's have a little scenario right here. If it was me at the at the party or whatever,
Yeah.
and we were both single, would you have approached me?
Yeah.
You would have?
Yeah.
You think I would have said yes?
Well, I'm a good looking man, so you had no
whatever.
choice. But this is where being single could be lame. At the same time, you're at a place like this, you can dance with like 20 people.
And imagine you with a group of girlfriends. Like
You can dance with like 20 people and you get in your car, you go home, you had a good time, and you had to worry about it because you're single.
20 people, baby, that's a lot.
If you go to a club, start like maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock, and you're going to be there until like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a lot of dancing.
That's a long night.
That's a lot of dancing, and you can dance with a lot of people. And when you're single, you just keep going from one station to the next and to the next, and you have to worry about it. Now, if you're with your wife, by the time it hits like 2-3 hours, and they're probably tired, and you want to go home.
That's me.
Right?
2 hours.
So, but being lonely could be.
Yes, I mean, I think that's why sometimes the single ladies, they feel like being lonely. It's just they want to have a partner.
Yeah, and I use the party scene to kind of illustrate how that could be. But
yeah,
imagine coming home and all you have is a TV and a cat to hang out with. If that's what you want, then great, you'll be fine.
Cat lady.
But for me, who likes to talk to people, that'd be tough, right?
Listen.
It'll be tough for me to be alone all the time.
I want to be alone from you.
Well, yes, you can be alone. We all need some time alone. But imagine day in, day out, you're walking home and all you get is a meow or a little dog that come and wiggle his tail at you.
But it's love.
If that's what you want, you're fine. You're great. But if you're like me who wants that human interaction, you can have a tough time.
But it's not just about the status, though. I feel like it's not just about the status.
No,
it's just
not
about companionship, right?
Yes.
I think it's just having someone. I think we did it for 4 years, 4.5 years, almost 5.
Not long enough.
According to you, not my mom, not my parents. Oh my God. Yeah. So I think people are looking for status, but overall, it's just having someone that you can go out with, just go watch movies together, go bowling together, and just do things together and start building like this.
Yeah, someone
connection.
to share moments with, someone who understands you, someone you understand, someone that at the end, if you had a tough day at work, you can come and you can have a conversation, and this person will help you do whatever's going on. Someone to keep you company.
True.
Someone to love. Someone to give your money to.
Hey. The bank, not me. The bank.
But don't get in relationship for the status, for having the ability to say, hey, I'm engaged, or I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend.
Yo, baby, it's just a thing. Like, it's the engagement.
You can't stand the person. But you know what? It makes me feel important that I could say, man, I am engaged. Oh, that's the ring.
I think it's just the status. And a lot of young girls out there are looking for that. I'm engaged, just so they can post it on social media that they are engaged. You engaged is great.
Don't believe what you see on social media. They may say they're engaged, they're not.
You engage is great, but then how is your chemistry with that person? You know, did it happen a month, 2 years, a year later they pop the question? How much do you really know that person, right? Because I think, when you single, it's always good to get to know that person. I think Will and I, we did 4.5 years. That was too long.
Not long enough.
But the thing is, when you single, you gotta make sure that you have someone that you have chemistry with. I truly believe in chemistry. I truly believe that there's things that you guys have in common, and it's just like so easily flow when you talk to that person. You know what I mean? As opposed to when you like forcing it and you have no chemistry, you hate each other, you just doing it for the sake of status. But then what's the point?
The point is, you can tell your friends, listen, this happens. All the people that you know have gotten married. They've settled and they've gotten a few kids. And here you are by yourself.
Yeah, but then that should make you feel bad, though.
That may not make me feel bad, but there's people that it's tough to stomach that, and they feel like I have to find someone.
Don't find someone just because of the time, just because of maybe that's not God's plan for your life.
And this is where it's important that whoever may find himself in that position to understand that it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. However, I'm still going to present myself in the best way to be able to attract the right people to me.
Yes.
But I'm not just going to just go and grab and take whoever.
Right.
And do whatever with them.
Yes.
Or bribe them with stuff or with myself.
Yes.
Just so I can try it out. You go on a trial. Let's see if it's good, and then
let's see if it works.
If so, I keep you long term. If not, we cancel the membership. Oh my God. Don't kind of go like that. It's not fair. I think yes, our emotions are precious. We should not just give it away for whatever.
We should not give it away for whatever. No, I absolutely not. But one thing I want to say is that there's a lot of guys out there that are so like into themselves. And they want the single life rather of being in a commitment. In a committed relationship. Pays. I've seen so many guys where they have the potentials. Like I've seen them, they're good Christian men and they're good. But then I'm like, what's wrong with people?
Well, let me give you a quick example where some people, like for instance, before I got married, I can get with my buddies and we could be at the gym until like 12:30, working out and doing our thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have to call home to check on the wife and the kids because I didn't have them. And all I had to focus on is how do I get my body in the best shape that I need. And the next morning I wake up and go to work. And then I do the same thing at the end of the day. So when you have your routine, it's planned like this. Sometimes not everyone is willing to change that. So like, because there's things that once you get in a long-term relationship, a lot of things change.
Yes, true.
And you have to be willing to accept those changes.
Right.
And know that you can accept those changes before you commit to a relationship. Because the moment that you get into a relationship, a lot of these things change. Right now, I can try to be at the gym later in the day, but I have to worry about, hey, is everybody sleeping okay? And obviously, as a father, I can't keep being at the gym until midnight while my kids may need my assistant.
No, then you'll be doing something else at the gym until midnight.
Right?
And you're like, what are you doing over there?
And I'm using that as an example. Obviously, as a father, there's other time that I can use to go to the gym. But I'm saying how when you're a single man, typically the people that you hang out with will be single. So and you'll find the people that you hang out with, you tend to do the same thing they do.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the time you hang out, then you'll probably be hanging around that same time. So, but once you get married, that changed.
Yes, I agree.
It changed. Like I remember, every May 18th, like 3 times, and I ended up not liking it, so I didn't. We would go down to Miami and go to that festival, and it's the boys. I remember there's one time we parked in some crazy place. We weren't worried about it.
Right. You had no worries, no responsibilities.
So right now,
You know?
I can't do this because God forbid something happened. I have to worry about it. Was, how am I going to get home to my wife and all that stuff? So it changes your mentality. It changes the way you do things. So not everyone is willing to go through these changes, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people may never want to get a mortgage where they're paying X amount of money per month. They rather get a roommate and they share their monthly responsibilities and drive whatever they want to drive. They don't have to go get an SUV. They can get a 2-seater Corvette and never have to put a wife and kids in.
Living the life. With
some people, that's what they want.
With a woman every weekend.
Yes.
Hey. Driving down to Miami every weekend with a different woman.
Yes.
With a different area code. I know what you're saying. Because for me, single life was very much not the same because I didn't do much. It was, like I said earlier, it was just school, work, come home. I didn't have I was never the type that likes to hang out. My hangout was a church. God seeker, shout out. It was just that after on Sundays. And I don't think my single life was boring. It was just like my type of life.
It was plain.
It was just plain. I would go to the store and I would have friends in high school and college, and that's about it. And people that I work with, that's about it. But as far as having friends to go out on the weekends or stuff like that, not really. But I enjoyed my single life. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really something that, no pressure at all until I met him. Then the pressure was but take your time. There's no rush.
There's no rush.
And who says you have to
there's no rush. However, if you want to have kids and you're getting close to your 40s,
then
your chances are going down. So you have to be mindful of this. But what you'll find is that if you present yourself the right way, you get yourself in the right environment, the right person will come. So if you're gonna look for someone that you're looking to marry, don't go look for that person in places that carries no such person.
Like at the club.
Nice people meet at the club. Don't be putting a bad rep on the club.
I'm just saying.
And there's different types of clubs.
Doesn't mean they're bad people. Just don't think you're gonna meet someone.
Did
at
I
the club.
say they're bad people?
People will go to clubs.
No, but there's different types of hangout clubs. I don't know of any in the immediate area where we are. But there's places for instance, there's some jazz club where you can go in as classy.
I'm still waiting for you to take me to the jazz club.
There's COVID. After
that's
COVID,
been 10 years, baby.
Driving around.
Yeah. See, if I was single, I would have been to the jazz club already.
Go to the right place. I say church, but there's a lot of bad people in church. But you can make your own judgment if you're gonna look for someone in church. But your chances of finding the right person in church is greater than finding it at some other places, right?
Go to a library.
Go to the library. Where you hang out will determine the type of people that approach you. How you present yourself, whether you're a man or a woman. If I present myself as a thug, then I'm probably gonna get people who likes thug.
Right.
Wants to hang out with me, right? So if your intentions is to get married, don't present yourself as someone who's just looking to have fun. Because whoever approach you will just be looking to have fun.
That is such a true statement.
Yes. So if your intentions is that,
yes,
you gotta work at making it happen.
True.
In other words, you present yourself, the people that you keep around you.
Don't keep hopping from one man to another too.
No. And don't keep sharing that you're hopping from one. Yes.
Yeah.
If you're with someone and it doesn't work, kick that person to the curb. But don't keep announcing, hey, this week I'm with this person, next week I'm with that person. No. They're gonna think you're a hoochie. The same thing for a man. They're gonna think you're a player if you keep jumping from girls to girls.
Yeah.
Because imagine if your intentions is to get married, but you've heard that I've already played with like 6 of your friends.
Right.
Would you?
No.
Because you know I don't play with you too, right?
I don't play with players.
So it's whatever you want in terms of relationship. If you want to be by yourself, then do things that will keep you by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to attract people who's looking to settle down and have a family, then do things that will attract people who's looking to do that.
Right.
And
don't have a list.
Have a list. You got to have expectations.
Well, don't have a high expectation.
You got to have
what
a
I'm
standard.
referring to. Don't have like, he got to be tall. He got to be 6'5". He needs to be, making 7 figures or driving this car, like living in his... Don't have like a high expectation list. Like have a list where you know it's going to be at a fair level. If you meet someone, there's the areas that you guys can work things out.
Yes, and see where you are. Say for instance, if you're just starting out, you're in your early 20s. Know that whoever you're going to be will be people that are around the same age as you are. Maybe a couple of years older than you are. Maybe a couple of years younger than you are. At that age, you're building yourself.
Some people like older men.
Yes, some do, but the majority of us, we tend to marry very close to our age.
Right, true.
And depends on where you are in age, that person may be at the stage where they're building. If they're not making 7 figures or 6 figures right now, that doesn't mean they won't be making it in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, make sure that whoever you're getting with, they have a plan and they have some goals.
First thing.
If this person, they have no goals and they kind of take every day, kind of
day
how
by
every
day
day comes, then yes, this person is probably not. But know who you're getting involved with, or at least date. That's why dating exists. Dates so you can find out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where does this person stand? What are they doing now? What are they looking to do in the future? And obviously what your expectations are and what you're looking for.
Right.
Because if you're looking to be in a long-term relationship, don't go and do things that people are just looking to have a good time do from the get-go.
Opposite.
Because if that's what you do, then you're just going to have a good time and then everybody moves to it. No.
Then you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, well, some people just have good time and good time is
But
good
then
time.
you get hurt.
Yes. So whatever it is that you're looking for... Make sure that you behave as such.
Mm-hmm.
And things will fall in place.
Listen, if you can't find a girl or a man, just go on
Tinder.
I wasn't going to say Tinder, but okay, babe. Okay.
I've never been on Tinder. Actually, I'm married, so I have no, but I've heard of Tinder.
Okay. I was going to say online dating.
That's one of these things. That's that app.
I was going to say Christian Mingle.
There is a site that's called Christian. But if you're not Christian, why would you want to go to Christian Mingle?
Christian Mingle get you a Christian man. a good girl that's not gonna cheat on you, right?
Wherever you go, find whoever you're looking to find. Make sure that place carries those type of people.
And don't do blind dates. I don't like when people go to blind dates. I've never been, and I think it's good to experience things, but you never know who might come. This blind person might be a serial killer. Or don't go alone. Go with a friend.
Go to a blind date. Just go in a open space. Friend. Don't go meet the person in an alley.
Go with a friend. Have a friend sit by the bar while you meet the person, okay? Because you never know.
You need a chaperone to go on a date?
Why not? There's tons of crazy people out there. Listen to me, okay?
Don't listen to her.
There's tons of crazy people. If you're doing this blind date thing, just go ahead and go with a friend. And if you have a guy friend, even better.
Marry that guy friend. If you have a guy friend that would follow you on a date, you should just marry that guy friend.
Well, if you have a guy friend, you may not have any connection with that guy friend. You may not have any chemistry, but he's a friend. If that guy friend
is good enough to chaperone you on a date, you should just marry that guy.
No.
You're friend enough. Listen. Babe, when you're married someone,
you could have a guy friend that you have no chemistry with.
You have something with them, otherwise they wouldn't be your friend.
We just have friends, chemistry.
Yeah, then
no, don't listen to him.
Marry that guy.
Listen, if it's a guy, even better. If it's a guy friend, Have them sit a few distance away from you guys while you are on this date. It don't.
Well, I share something with you. If you have a guy friend, given the right moment, that guy friend can easily turn into some other friend. Given the right moment. That doesn't mean that it'll happen, but some guy friend, imagine.
Well, you have some guy friends that are very immature.
That may not have anything to do with maturity, but given the right moment, that guy friend can turn into some other type of friend. So just because they're friends, that doesn't mean things may not move to the next level from there.
Well,
if you have a guy friend that will follow you,
and then he's a slow.
If you have a guy friend that will follow you to a date, that guy is caring enough for you. You can marry them, or a girl. If you have a girl that will follow you on a date, that girlfriend should be your wife.
With no chemistry.
That's me kidding. Okay. Don't just get with someone for the sake of getting with someone. So that's bad advice on my part.
Yeah, from someone who's been married for 11 years. That's just, you don't want to do that. Don't do that. Don't go on a date. Get yourself together. You know, if it's time for
looking good, don't dress like your hoochie. Or if you're a man, don't be like.
But babe, why sometimes men are so afraid to approach a woman? To approach if there's a man.
You're asking me that? I don't know.
I'm asking you because you are at some point a single guy. Like, right? Like, why is it sometimes where guys are so afraid to approach a girl? Like, okay, I see this girl, she look cool, she seems all right, but I don't have the games to approach her.
Well, if a guy's not confident enough, thinking the girl's out of your league is enough reason for you not to approach them.
But what's the fear?
It's not.
It's the fear of rejection. The fear that she
the girl may say no. They may say your pickup line is weak, and then you walk away thinking you're not enough. It happens, and all these things happen with confidence. If you're not confident enough, it'll be tough for you to approach a woman and tell baby. Well, don't call a girl baby first time you meet them. They will smack you. But you can pay them a nice compliment.
Not on her body part, on her face. On her dress.
Yeah, pick up the earring.
Don't just say, "Oh, you look sexy." No. If it's like your first date, don't. Those are the words.
Well, even if it's not a date, you can meet someone at a place. You can pay them a compliment.
No, just say, "Hey, you look good." That's a flirt. There goes the first flirt right there.
Pick something specific.
But don't be saying don't say things like, "Okay, I like."
Just say that your nose.
Oh my God. No, don't listen to him. But I think, you gotta find someone that's willing to commit to your goals, your plan. Don't just pick anyone because you're gonna get hurt at the end. And that is something that for you to keep in the back of your head.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being single. I was single. And I could still be single.
Yeah, me too.
And I would be fine.
And same here.
And I'll just make sure that I have planned that when I get really old, that someone will take care of me. That's one of the fear that people who are looking to get married have is when I get older, how am I going to live my life? Am I going to have kids who take care of me?
Sure.
All of these things could be handled as long as you have the proper planning. Mm-hmm. So if you're single and you haven't found the right person, obviously keep looking, but don't settle or don't just go and pick whoever comes your way just so you can.
Yeah.
No. If you were destined to live on your own, then you already have it in you to be able to live on your own.
Right.
If it's others' expectation that's causing you to think that you have to have someone, then start looking at to see, am I going that path because someone wants me to? Or am I going that path because it's what I want? If it's what you want, you will find ways to get it. Believe me.
Yeah.
And you will find the right person. But if that's not what you want, you're probably getting frustrated that every time you see people, they're asking, when's the date? I know I get like that.
None of your business.
People keep saying, when are you going to have another kid? Did I tell you I want to have another kid? I have as many kids that I want to have, and I'm good. If you do the same thing, they ask, when are you getting married? No, I don't intend to get married anytime soon. Stop asking. So I'm hoping that we share.
The look on your face, honey.
Sometimes that's how I feel. I would have told.
The look on your face is just
anyway,
no. Stop asking.
Hey, listen. Our lives should be the way we want it.
Amen.
And as long as it's the way we want it, it is a successful life and we'll live it to its fullest. So thank you for joining us tonight, guys. I know we've talked about this is kind of the first time we've talked about a topic involving single life. But I think whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're in the process of getting married, or you're in the process of becoming single, just live the life you want.
Single? Yes.
Live the way you want. And if that's how you want to be, you'll be happy being so. So thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you listening. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we put out these videos. And if you've been with us since the beginning, we thank you. We appreciate you, and keep sharing our content with whomever you think it may be beneficial to. And yes, like she said, remember to like the video. Like the video. We appreciate it. That lets YouTube know that you guys are enjoying what we do. And until next Saturday.
That's right. Bye.
Peace.